Okay, let's get over to the stream ourselves. Have, if we don't at least set some kind of float, there won't be any point in coming to the festival. Tomitake spoke brightly, urging us all on. Setting kind of float down the stream, I shake my head a few times, driving away my dismal thoughts as to the double meaning. Takano, looking little let down, kept turning back to glance at the ritual storehouse. Let's just leave it at that, alright? You saw enough to set your curiosity, didn't you? Oh, not at all. Everything I found only renewed my interest. All those stories and legends suddenly hold water. Oh no. After today, I'm going to have to change the way I look at all this. No! Wow, she's truly indomitable. Her curiosity really is something else. Still, interesting in all this, through and through. We descended the stone stairs, and all the people crowding the stream came into view. Near the bottom of the stairs, we could clearly see people receiving content that had been cut out for them, then wishing upon the kind, setting it afloat down the stream. The festival was already over. Damn, I missed my chance to photograph the best part of Wanashi. Oh, but it's not too late. I'm going to go and set some afloat. Perhaps you could take pictures of me. Tagno, with an impish expression, brought her head to Tomoge's shoulder. Despite his age, he looked embarrassed. Felt an honest respect for Tomitake, man to man, for dating such a handful of a woman. Goodbye then, Mabara. Shion. We're going down to the stream. Would you like to come with us? No, no. I couldn't get in your way. Please take your time. Shion waved her hand to them with an expression just as impish as Takano. Tomitake, on his part, seemed to want us to come, but whatever. Shion gave a big stretch and sat down on stone steps. Pretty worn out. Same here. I'm exhausted too. Kei-chan, this is your first Wanashi, isn't it? You go on, don't mind me. I'm tired, so I'd like to stay away from the crowd. Yeah, if we were to go now, we'd barely slip into the end of the kind drifting ceremony. My sister and your other friends might be looking for you too. Go on. Oh, yeah, right. They've been by themselves ever since we got separated. Feel bad if they were looking for me. Then she suddenly got a playful look on her face and put her index finger to her lips as telling me to keep this a secret. My sister's the type that gets really jealous. She knew I was hogging you this whole time. She would never let me hear the end of it. So keep tonight a secret, okay? Keep tonight a secret. Don't say things that are so embarrassing. Not only because of that either. Considering what we were doing tonight, we really need to keep it a secret. Oroshiro's curse might happen tonight, and we four would be the prime candidates. The loosening threads of tension became taut again. Ah, great. Why'd you have to say that, Shion? Shion, however, burst out laughing. Alright, I'm going to get out of here before I run into my sister. I really am tired, so I don't have the endurance to put up with her anyway. I can't tell if you get along with her or not. We get along. That's iffy. Though, as she said that, her vague expression explained that there was a lot of oddities in the relationship between twins. I am an only child, so I don't really get it. Make sure you get along with her, okay? Right. Thank you kindly for your meddling. Okay, I gotta go. Oh, I'm gonna go. You sure hurry up if you want to make it, Kei-chan. One actually really is about to end. She stood up and brushed the dust off her backside. After watching her do so, I returned my eyes to the final ceremony and the white was below me. Seriously, though, what was that sound anyway? It was kind of pleasant and creepy. Huh? What sound? The sound. You know, the banging noise. It was really loud, wasn't it? I was giving her a blank expression, so Shion stared hard at me. I stared hard at her, too. Sorry, Shion. Could you give me the short version? What was making noise? Wait, Kichan, it didn't bother you? When all said and done, it was like we were speaking two different languages. Shion, Explain it to me without jokes from the beginning, will you? What's this about a noise? Kei-chan, you quit joking around too. Really, honestly, it didn't bother you? Neither of us was giving any ground, and both of us were staring at the other in disbelief. We were answering questions with more questions, with no sign of an actual conversation in sight. Baffled, I held in the urge to shout at her and ask politely one more time. I'm going to ask one more time, okay? I'll ask the questions. She nodded slightly. Okay, here goes. You said there was a sound. What are you talking about? The banging sound. It was like a kid was jumping up and down on floorboards somewhere far away. It really didn't bother you. There was nothing to be bothered by. When did you hear this? I never heard anything. Wait, Kei-chan, are are you are you serious? Shion, as if she didn't understand my plain and simple answer, pressed me farther, her expression serious. And remember, Tomitake mentioned also that there was sound like someone was jumping around. I have no clue what she's talking about, but if it has Shion acting so like this, whatever it was, it gave me the creeps and sent a chill down my spine. It was while we were looking around the inside of the ritual storehouse with Takano. About the time she started her stories, I think it was. The moment when Takano and Shion both looked around. Make sure it was clear or whatnot. Little by little, louder and louder, off and on. She heard a banging sound like a child jumping on distant floorboards. That can't be true. Don't start trying to scare me after all that. I didn't hear anything at all. In fact, it was so utterly silent in there that my own heartbeat was almost deafening. Ugh, I know what it was too, and this is sad. I can't say anything. Please don't try to scare me either, Kei-chan. It was like something was making noise in time with Takano's scary stories, and I was totally creeped out the whole time. The chill ran from my spine to the back of my head. My blood turned cold as it crawled up my body. When it reached my head, my mind froze over. You and Takano weren't paying any attention to it at all, so I pretended not to hear it either. But you heard it, right? It happened a bunch of times and it was really loud. Shion's eyes were begging me to tell her I heard it. I had no doubt, however, that my own eyes suggested something entirely different. That you gotta be kidding, look. In the storehouse, we were surrounded by brutal ritual tools that looked like they were from another planet, listening to terrifying old stories. The whole time, Shion had been hearing a sound that we couldn't hear by herself. Should that make Shion, who heard it, tremble, or should it make me, who didn't hear it, tremble? I didn't know the answer to that at the time. For now, Shion seemed to have made that decision before I did. What are you laughing about? I really got you, Kei-chan. I was fibbing the whole time. No, you weren't. What? Shion laughed, saying how easily scared I was, and clapped me on the back. Her smile seemed somehow artificial and actually made me feel worse. Then, after leaving me with two or three gen- generic diplomatic goodbye phrases, she left almost like she was running away. All I could do was look after her, my mouth agape. At the end of the day, I didn't have a clue what was going on. Shion laughed it off and said she had been lying, but she couldn't possibly have been lying. Of course not. And now that I think about it, Tomitake said the same thing, didn't he? Yes, he did. I could clearly hear some noises like someone jumping up and down. I was getting pretty nervous. Tomitake, the most neutral party present at the time, had said he heard something. Then that noise, it was real. The banging sounds as though a child was jumping up and down on some kind of floorboards far away. Orishio's curse, what happens every year, might happen again tonight. The most plausible victim candidates were Takano, Tomitake, Shion, and me. The rustling of the people sounded farther away than I would have liked, and the sounds of the insects sounded too close for comfort. I'm near so much human warmth, and yet I can't even go back there again. There was that was the ominous idea that sprouted in my mind. Then all of a sudden, I was pounced on from behind, causing my heart to lurch. Keiichi, we found you. It was Rika. When I turned around, Mion and Irena were there too. Mion sighed and said, "We finally found you. Now we just need to find Sakato." Everyone got split up this year. We should make sure we have somewhere to meet up afterwards next year. Ho! You're right. It's a festival, so we should all be together. I listed Mion's happily decoration with a little bit of guilt. Keiichi, did you root for me while I was dancing? Ah, yeah, I saw it all. You did a great job all the way through. No mistakes either. Boom, big mistake. Uh, yeah, that's right, Rika. That didn't count as a mistake. I tensed up as I realized I made a mistake on my own. Of my own. Mion slapped a hand on my shoulder a little roughly. A gross sweat broke out over my whole body. Did you do it too, Kei-chan? Did you get some kind and send it down the stream? You haven't yet, right? Is what I could feel her saying. Without the courage to tell any more lies, I lifelessly shook my head. Huh? You ain't Keiichi? You should go now or it'll be over. It'll be over. Sorry. This is my first one actually, so I don't really understand the rules and stuff. That's right. I'm sorry. Mion took my hand and we started walking down the stone steps. Hey, Kei-chan. What? Did you see Shion? My heart skipped another beat. Maybe Mion could sense my surprise through my hand. No. Oh well. I sort of think I saw her. You two look so alike, though, so it might have been you. You wouldn't have gotten that wrong. We're wearing different clothes. Huh, yeah, that's right. Mion's momentary silence was like a death grip upon me. I just can't do anything about that Shion. Well, it's her we're talking about, so we can just leave her be. Mion's expression returned to her former usual smile and we continued down the stone steps, her firmly pulling my hand along. Ooh, we barely escaped that one. We barely escaped it. Ooh. Scrapbooking after the festival. Oh, yay. Oh, let's see what our new tips are. From the scrapbook. I don't want to read more scrapbooks. One Nashi. The rite of watching the Nashi is performed during the village festival every June, even now, but reading back to its origin turns up a seriously Zangu ceremony. Originally, one actually would happen at fixed intervals, and often after receiving Oashira's trust, they chose a sacrifice. Then the entire village would kidnap, demon away, the person, and ceremoniously dissect and devour them in a feast. The rules that determine the intervals are shrouded in mystery. This is because the ceremonies occurred extremely irregularly. There's a theory that it was determined based on astrological fortune telling, but it isn't too convincing. The residents of ancient Onigafuchi village firmly believed that they were half man, half demon transcendents, and that they were more valuable than humans were, and they forced people within and without to accept that. Perhaps the act of kidnapping and eating people was done to prove that they were higher up on the food chain. This is just a hypothesis, but maybe the rite of Wannashi was a political event for the purpose either being an outlet for or outright diverting the attention of the villagers of the isolated Onigafuchi village, in case any of their complaints or dissatisfaction grew serious. If that was the main reason these ceremonies were held, then it's easy to explain how erratic they were. Yay. Alleged importance of the implements. Oh, yay. Oh damn, I'm choking on my own water. I can't find anything that gives a concrete description on what the ritual implements were like. They were, however, real, and there definitely existed a multitude of different kinds. One source states that the implements used in the Wanashi rite alone number 200. The obvious question then is why they required such a mandate of them. The Wanashi was to kidnap people, throw the demon away, dissect them, and eat them. I believe the tools were for dissection and restraining, but 200 of them is far too many. Generally, tools evolve in such a way as to reach a solution for a certain problem. Once you reach the ultimate goal, that's it. Attain a certain level officially, the tool's evolution normally stops there. Regardless, why would they have created so many different kinds? One of the cultural elements responsible for diversification over time is that of entertainment. Tools used for entertainment would evolve over time and branch out. Unlike normal tools, reaching the ultimate goal would be more of a dead end, and in searching for the next goal, they would split into many different subtypes. So then perhaps it's not a stretch to suggest that these 200 plus implements had some entertainment value. This is just a hypothesis, of course, but maybe the human dissection process was viewed as a type of entertainment. The three families of old would develop one new implement dissection tool after another, each with a varied, novel, and attracted spectators to keep them from growing bored. It's not unimaginable. All of them have to be enshrined within that storehouse. There wasn't much longer until the night of the Wanashi. Though its original intent has been lost, I will reveal the secret of the traditional ceremony night within the ritual storehouse. I can't restrain my excitement. Wanashi cannot come soon enough. Oh, yay. Late that night, tensions in the police station were strained. In this silence, many staff members' eyes shift back and forth between the clock and their telephones, counting the seconds in that strifed atmosphere. Kumagawa burst in with a young guy trailing behind him. Oishi, I got the autopsy results. The court physician just got here. I'm ready to go, sir. I'll head straight for Gifu. Kuma, things have gotten a bit complicated. They appear to be having a very difficult time determining who the victim is. Could they have been dismembered? Nope. Cooked to a nice light brown. He spoke in supportive tones, but the meaning behind his words was heavy. The staff gave a collective sigh. All the way, head to toe? Completely blackened, it seems. Probably smells terrible, too. What a shame it is to be Gifu. Cooked with no possessions, then discarded outside the prefecture. At worst, it would have taken a week for the body to be identified. The fact that they sniffed it out tonight was huge. Kamigawa and a few others are performing a thorough night raid on a dentist in Okinomiya. All we can do is hope a tooth matches some medical records. Sorry, could someone go buy me 2 or so boxes of ultra mild? The young guy answering information darted out into the hallway. We did an excellent job finding it this year. It could have it could be that the people who disappeared in past years were scattered outside of prefecture like this too. Then why not bury them or sink them into the Sea of Japan or Lake Biwa or somewhere like that? Why though? Hasn't the pattern so far been one person dies and another disappears? Kuma, the corpse was inside an old drum, unrestrained and cooked. They probably burned them after strangling them. They knew it would be found. So what you mean is, from the beginning, they didn't want a person to disappear this year. Not so much as They just aren't related. The person didn't disappear. In fact, whoever did it seemed to have wanted to make a show of it. You mean it could be a warning? He folded his arms and heaved a long and heavy sigh. That might have been the case had it happened in town. They messed up, taking the victim far away and burning them alive wouldn't have been noticed. If they meant it as a warning, they should have done it closer to Himazawa. They wanted to emphasize the fact that they killed the victim, but instead of doing it somewhere for dramatic effect, they did it outside the prefecture. Did they want to emphasize it or hide it? But I do wonder what Urashiro is up to this year. A telephone ring cut through the heavy silence. A staff member nearby snatched up the receiver. Oishi, it's Komiyama. They have it. The dental clinic in Okinawa fixed the wisdom tooth 3 years ago. What about the records? Complete with x-rays. Well, I feel bad for waking up the dentist before dawn. Come on, get down there as soon as you get the records from Komiyama. Will do. Oh, it's the chief. Chief, thank you for coming out at this hour. Oh, Ishi, my apologies for my lateness. What's the situation? Well, it's just getting good, you see. We're all getting fired up. Woo! Yeah, so someone got cooked alive this year. Ooh, yay. That's gonna be fun. Now we get to go on to our next part. Yay! Now let's see what the aftermath does. Okay, so let's go ahead and keep going. Did we see all the tips? Yes. Let's go ahead and continue. So this is after the festival and everything that happened, or we hope. I let out a big yawn. It was like morning had arrived just as I got to sleep. Of course it did. As me on, as or wow, me on what? I can't even read today or tonight, whichever. As mom set up breakfast, she gave me a pained smile. What's the matter, Keiichi? What time did you go to sleep last night? Well, I wanted to go to sleep at midnight, but I had some trouble with that. You were probably all worked up from the festival. No, that's not a crunch, crunch. Crunch down hard on the pickled radish to hide my embarrassment. Ooh, pickled radish. Haven't had that yet. Uh, After all that happened yesterday in our discussion about the sound Shion heard, that banging noise like a child far away jumping up and down on the wooden floor. The story wouldn't get out of my head, so I had trouble sleeping. It was a long night, and I kept jumping at the slight sound of faraway tree branches, which should have been either unhearable or too insufficient to notice. When I woke up in the morning, sunlight and birds chirping, or woke up to the morning sunlight and birds chirping, it made me feel pretty ashamed about it, but I felt far more refreshed this morning. And I will give a heads up those that are in the stream. Yeah, you're going to be probably hearing me eat some peanut butter, some chocolate peanut clusters, because I haven't eaten anything really since this morning. And no, I don't have my New Year's dinner. Keiichi-kun, wait, good morning, huh? Keiichi, your eyes are all red. Why is that? Why? Hey, good morning. I didn't get much sleep last night, so I'm sleep deprived today. No shit, so am I. The festival yesterday was a lot of fun. Rena's excitement took a long time to go to sleep, so I took a long time to go to sleep too. To sleep. In Rena's case, her excitement seemed to still be wide awake. We should have this kind of festival more often, so we can have lots of fun together again. Ooh. Yeah. We're gonna talk about the festival against me. Remember everything I had nearly forgotten from last night. Inside the ritual storehouse had been so utterly different from the relaxed, bright, everyday life of Himazawa. All the stories that at Takano told me too. The mysterious incident that occurred on the day of the Watanashi Festival every year. The strange incidents where one person would die and one would disappear. The old stories of Himazawa flickering like a candle behind them. The numerous and horrifying traditions of Onigashfuchi village. The villagers with demon blood in them. The terrible cannibalistic feast. The poor sacrifices kidnapped from human village victims of the Onikakushi. A swell of Orashiro, the ritual involving living sacrifices. There were also many, many others. There were so many stories that just remembering them put me in a foul mood. Most of them weren't fiction either, they were true. We didn't just fear them just because they were real though, since it all happened so long ago. Such a very long time ago. Where's Michan? She's late. Huh? Before I realized it, we had arrived at the place where we usually meet with Mio. Probably because I was so lost in thought. We agreed that if she isn't here by now, we can just go ahead, right? Should we? Mion being late wasn't too rare on occurrence, but today she was unusually late. Peter Amos' tales from the night before came back to life in my mind again. Who would die this year and who would disappear? It could have been Mion. What should we do, Keiichi? If we don't get going, we'll be late. She'll be here. She didn't call to tell us she'd be staying home today, right? Let's wait 5 more minutes, okay? Rand looked at her watch and seemed a little worried, but then she nodded with a satisfied smile. Hmm. We had to wait 5 minutes. We have to run as fast as we could to school or we'd be late. As soon as I thought that, we spotted Mion running toward us out of breath. Me-chan, you're late. You waited? You should have just got on ahead. Mion was breathing heavily and her face was all red. Her house was down this road, wasn't it? It wasn't far enough for her to end up like this, was it? Mi-chan, are you not feeling well? Huh? Now that she mentioned it, Rena pushed Mion's bangs away, put her hand to her forehead. Your hand is pretty cold. Mi-chan, you're a little bit warm. It's no big deal. Give it half a day and I'll be fit as a fiddle. Are you really okay? You don't have to push yourself, you know. What's this? Kei-chan, are you worried about me? That's nice of you. That answer wasn't like Mion at all. She must have had it pretty bad. I just think you shouldn't push yourself so hard. We can tell the teacher you had to take the day off. I'm fine. Took some medicine. I think it's already working. Mion forced an energetic expression onto her face and flexed her biceps at us. Okay then, let's go. Don't overdo it, but of course there's the time. Huh? We need to run or we won't make it. This boy sure is thrilling. Maybe it's just what I need to shake off the slowness. Let's run. Hey, wait, you're sick. Don't go overboard. Mion began to run vigorously away. Stop, Mion. Mi-chan is older than us, right? She knows her own body better than anyone. I decided to leave it at that and assume she was fine. Great. Then we should get going too. We began to run after Mion. Ishion. School looked the same as always. The hours passed listlessly and my lack of sleep took its toll. If there was a sport where people competed in sleeping, I'd be world champion right now. The trick to overcoming this sort of dangerous situation was to hold your pencil upside down. Why, you ask? So you don't draw strange patterns all over your notes while half asleep. If you were holding your pencil upside down, that wouldn't happen, would it? Bump, 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 bump. Something that felt like eraser hit me in the head 6 times. Ah, what was that for, Sakato? I haven't done a single thing. Who else would play a prank on me like this? Oh, it was chalk, not eraser. Uh, shit, teacher. Behind me was a female outlaw. Like a female outlaw might hold razors, was the teacher's shadow, holding 3 pieces of chalk in each hand. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Mabara, go and wash your face. Uh, right. Gladly. That alone was enough to wake me up, but I flew out into the hallway as if shoved out by a pressure excluded by the teacher's sheer power. The teacher hit him with chalk! If I was going to wash my face anyway, then I would rather use the sinks out front rather than the ones in the dark restroom. Thinking that, I left the hallway and went to the entrance. The sunlight was strong, so strong you wouldn't think it was June. Turned the faucet and with a lifeless, bubbling noise, lukewarm water came pouring out. If I let it run for a few more minutes, would it get cold? I looked at it absent-mindedly for a little while. I knew you'd choose these sinks, K-chan. The ones out front just feel better, don't they? Meow. Ah, no cutting class now. Stuck my hands in the water to find it had gotten so cold it seemed strange to it had ever been warm. I scooped it up and splashed it against my face. Once I was done, I moved out of the way and Mion did the same. Mion, how's your cold doing? You're sleepy because of medicine, not from lack of sleep, right? Hmm? Actually, this is a secret, but after the festival yesterday, I got wrapped up in a party my relatives was having. And well, I had a bit. A bit. She made a gesture like she was tilting a cup into her mouth. Which means you didn't have a cold or anything. Are you hungover? How old are you? Give me a break. I really don't feel well, you know. I suppose she would be feeling lousy either way. Still, you treat colds and hangovers in completely different ways. I was worried over nothing. Man, I guess that's just like you, Mion. Mion scratched her head a little embarrassed. She didn't seem to be feeling well, but now that I knew it was a hungover, I didn't need to worry too much. It will go away with time after all. I've never had a hungover. Oh, but my head really is pounding, so the teacher told me I should go home early. Uh, you cheater. So are you going home now, Mion? Now that I looked again, Mion had her bag with her. She must have been on her way home. Yep. I felt bad about it, though. I'll get some rest at home like a good girl. Sorry I can't make it to the club. Would you take over as leader for today, K-chan? I don't know if that will happen. We have that unspoken rule where we don't do the club unless everyone's there, don't we? We never did it when you had to go to your part-time job, did we? Mion laughed wearily, saying we didn't need to worry about her. No matter how much fun we have, though, I think that feeling guilty about friends who can't share in it is a sign of really fantastic friendship. In that sense, the club Mion has created is a wonderful thing. As I thought about the moisture on my washed face dried up. Suppose we were talking too much. If I didn't get back to the classroom soon, I could get in trouble. Okay, later. I'm going back. Be careful on your way home. Don't wobble into a sewer or a brook. Got it? I left it at that, turned around, and started heading back to the classroom. Ah! That just hurts. That just hurts. As I know something. Which, yes, we will find out by the end of this entire chapter. Oh, one more thing, K-chan. Mion stopped me and I turned my head to listen. What's up? This may sound weird, but don't think too hard about it. Well, that depends on what it is. Last night, near the end of the festival, did you see Tomitake or Takano anywhere? I suddenly tensed up. You know, Tomitake and Takano, right? You remember, Kei-chan, when the four of you were talking during setup the day before? If I could, I wanted to forget about sneaking into the storeroom that night as soon as possible. So hearing the names of the people I was with at the time really got to me. Besides that, though, why was Mion asking me a question like that? I am staring at her, unable to answer immediately. Was she asking to see if I had seen them or not, or was she asking the question knowing that I had? Couldn't tell. Well, maybe. I might have seen them around, I don't know. My vague response was clearly not to Mion's liking. What answer was she expecting from me? There was no way for me to know. I see. Then one more question. On the same night, did you see Shion? My heart leapt for my throat again. The tiny needles buried underneath Mion's words prickled into me. That didn't you ask me that yesterday? Think I told you I wasn't sure if I had or not. Hmm, did you? I guess I just thought I'd get a different answer if I asked you again. I suddenly noticed something in Mion's eyes. Something indescribable. Ah, shit, the black. Tomitake and Takano. Shion too. She was asking me about them. There's no doubt about it. Last night the four of us snuck into the ritual storehouse. She knew everything. So what? There's not really a curse anyway. That's right. Even Shion and Takano said yesterday at the festival there was no curse. And that rather than a curse, it was the doing of the villagers. My blood curdled. Oh, great. Mion was, almost without a doubt, aware that we snuck into the storehouse. It was nothing strange. I screwed up bad flipping on the light switch last night. If Mion had been searching for me, it was simple to imagine that she had seen that momentary light and come to find out what was going on. Did you really not see her? Well, why are you so intent on knowing if I did or not? It's not important. It's just that there are some people who are speaking poorly of Tomitake, Takano, Shion, and you, Kei-chan. I didn't really hear what they were saying though. Unpleasant sweat dripped down my arms, and the sound of it hanging from my fingertips was so annoyingly loud. I don't believe that you were doing something bad. I just wanted to ask a bit about it, so I did. Sorry for making you uncomfortable, okay? I found myself unable to reply. My reaction must have made it obvious what the truth was, and yet I couldn't explain myself. Kei-chan, you weren't with Tomitake, Takano, or Shion, right? Uh, yeah. I finally wrung out an answer between ragged breasts. Mia's expression softened a little. That's good. I'll have to tell them you weren't involved in anything bad, Kei-chan. So I'll make sure to tell everyone. Yeah, please do. Tell them I wasn't doing anything bad. To everyone, make sure. Everyone. Everyone. Who is everyone? Okay, later. I'll be better tomorrow. Bye bye. That is. Wait, Mia. What do you mean by everyone? Just then, a freezing cold hand touched the back of my neck. Teacher. Hey, you're late, Mabara. How long does it take to wash your face? It was the teacher. I was taking so long she came out to get me. I'm sorry, I was just speaking to Mion. I turned around, but Mion had crossed through the schoolyard without me realizing, and it was just us now standing at the gate. Come back to your studies, quickly now. The teacher was being insistent we return to the entrance. I looked back one more time, and Mion was nowhere in sight. Keiichi, you haven't seen well all day. It's clearly because he had far too much fun yesterday. I don't want to be told that by the one who got lost. Your face was all red and you were nearly crying. Sakato is so cute. Was so cute last night. Oh. My friends did their best to try and cheer me up, but it didn't lighten my mood. Was it far worse than I thought? Had I really done something that terrible last night? These thoughts remained with me for the rest of the day. Bye, Keiichi. I'll see you tomorrow. By the time I realized that I was in front of my own house. Michan had a cold, right? Could you have a cold too, Keiichi? Could you? "Mm, I'm fine. I might look scrawny, but I've never missed school because of a cold. Both you and Michan didn't look so good today, though. Thanks for worrying about me. I'm fine. Idiots don't catch colds, remember? Rena smiled, then waved to me and left. Whew. With my shoulders bobbing up and down from breathing heavily, I entered the house. As soon as I got back in, Mom called out to me. What? Keiichi? I'm sorry, but could you go to the library and return a few books for me? Huh. I don't feel like it. Your dad and I have to wait inside the house for a phone call right now, so we can't leave. I need to return them today. Can you please do it? Ugh, fine, Mom. Did it have to do with Dad's job? No point arguing if they bring that up. I guess so, but don't know where the library is. Oh, you don't? It's a little bit past Oki- Okinomiya Station. Just then the phone rang. My parents' faces immediately turned grim. Mom snatched up the receiver. Hello? Mabara speaking. I'm sorry. Yes, he's right here. And she thrust the receiver at my face. It's for you, Keiichi. Don't take too long, okay? Tried to ask who it was from, but asking the person on the phone directly would be faster. Hello? Ah, this is Sonozaki. Well, the younger one. Hello. Do you have time to talk right now? It was Shion. The other sister had a hangover today, but the younger made no reference to it. Shion, I thought you'd be sleeping in today with the hangover, same as Mion. What? Mion had a hangover? Ah, that's so like her. She laughed warmly, but Mom glared at me, silently telling me to finish up. Whoops, sorry. My parents are waiting for an important call, so I can't talk for too long. What do you need? There's something I want to talk about, but if we can't talk long, I guess that's that. She sounded a little disappointed. What was Shion want to talk to me about? Now I was interested. And how about we meet up in person? If you could show me where the library is too, that would be great. You mean the public library near the station? Yes, that's fine. I go past there on my way to work anyway. Okay, then you know where I usually meet up with Mion? At the intersection where the small path from the Sonozaki house splits? Okay-chan. Did I not tell you? I don't live in the main house. I live in Okinomiya. If we could meet by the ticket machines in Okinawa Station, that would be great. Main house? Living in Okinomiya? Now that she mentioned it, it always seemed like the Sonozaki sisters weren't communicating. Did they live in different houses? Also, now that she mentioned it, Rena said she never met the younger sister despite going over to play sometimes. Let's meet at the station then. I'll go there right away. Bye. Set down the receiver, Mom immediately thrust a large pile of library books in my face. 6 volumes of long form mystery novels. Mom had her own hobbies. Thank you, Keiichi. Be back by nightfall. Got it. Okay, I'm going. I suppose I've changed my clothes and grabbed my bike key. Climbed the stairs to my bedroom. Shion had been waiting for me already, so meeting up was a smooth process. Wow, Mio never keeps her appointments. I mean, honestly. Make my sis that's Making my sister the standard for everything will get you in trouble. Hmm? She does seem a bit unsteady too. She was drinking with me on last night, wasn't she? You were drinking last night too, weren't you? Don't try and hide it. You definitely went home from school early. Oh, too bad. I've been at home all day in the first place. I'm smarter than Mion after all. Hey, I don't think you can call playing hooky smarter. You should finish your errand first. We don't have that much time. We're going to the library, right? Yeah, thanks. My mom had to return some books by today. So the library far? No, it's really close by. Of course it would be. And she said that we spotted the signboard for the library almost immediately. If it was this easy to find, then I guess I didn't need Shion to show me where it was after all. We rolled around the bend and the building was right there. Shishibone Public Library. We lived in the country, so I hadn't expected too much, but it was pretty big. The first one was actually a government office. The library was only on the second floor, but it still looked large enough to fit a decent collection of books. We passed through the automatic doors and were greeted by a cool breeze of air curtain. The cicadas had been loud outside, but it was quiet inside the library. The air conditioning inside was keeping the temperature at an ideal level for the books, which had that mildewy smell unique to old paper. I guess every library is basically the same. If there was one difference, it was that people studying for tests weren't taking up all the seats. I was one of those people, but now it seemed like a distant memory. Hello, I have books I'd like to return. The librarian went through the process of checking them in and then returned my mom's library card. Sheena was going around the bookshelves with a deeply interested look on her face, like she wasn't the type who went to libraries very often. Sorry for the wait. I'm all done. Libraries sure are nice and cool, aren't they? I want to work at a library one day. Don't know whether to call that boring or dependable. It's a pretty small dream compared to your sister. Mion would definitely want to be a hard-working employee in an international trading company or some other crazy job that involves her running all around the world. Compared to that, what she instead was pretty heartwarming. Well, we need to keep our differences dear to us. We're not copies, we're two different people called Shion and Mion. Twins have a lot to think about, huh? Still, it sounds like fun. I don't have any brothers, so that's just me. So there's just me and my parents at my house. Can get a little uncomfortable. It's the same for me. I don't live with Mion after all. Oh, right, she said something like that, didn't she? Why, though? Sisters living apart is unusual. We were getting tired of talking while we were walking. We ended up going to the lounge area, which was vacant, and continued the conversation. Yes, Mion lives in the main house, and I live in Okinomiya. What do you mean by main house? You make it sound like you're nobility. It's just the main house. The Sonozaki family's main house. Mia's a successor, so she lives with Nana and apparently studies all sorts of things as preparation to be the head of the family. Mio, the head of the family, kind of fits her personality, but kind of doesn't, too. Kei-chan, you just moved here, right? This will sound like I'm boasting, but we, the Sonozaki family, are kind of personages around here. Huh? Seriously? The word personage didn't really match the extreme social area the shield gave off. From what she explained, the Sonozaki family goes way back to the beginning of Himazawa, after the war. They had a bunch of successful ventures and extended their influence to a wide area. The Sonozaki house is the foundation under which the entire family incorporates. Though the current family head, Grandma, was the one who built it, the entire family would provide backup to help one relative with a business venture. They were like a huge living company. This let them avoid tax related problems and help relatives' ventures succeed one after another using large amounts of money. If you ever go for a walk through Okinomiya, pay attention to the signboards and stuff. There are a ton of shops that are managed by members of the Sonozaki family. Now that you mention it, that toy store Toy store looked like it was managed by relatives as well. Does that mean your relatives operate Angel Mort too?